Hi, everyone. It's Maggie, and I am here to answer the 10 crafty questions that is going around YouTube. And I was nominated by Michelle Scott and by Mountain Girl Studio Angie. So the first question is, what's your name? My real name is Margaret. I don't know if everybody knows that or not, but I go by Maggie. I was named after my grandmother, and she was probably one of the closest people to me my whole life growing up until until she passed away. And so I um, I always thought Margaret was too formal, but when I became a grandmother, everybody started calling me Maggie because my grandmother was Maggie to everybody. So I feel much more comfortable with Maggie. Number two, your YouTube name, which is Maggie White. That's my name. And I thought sometimes about, adding something to it that has to do with my crafting, but I haven't found anything that I feel really fits me, I guess. Let's see, number three, what's your favorite craft? Well, um, it I guess it depends. When my grandchildren were babies and toddlers, my favorite craft was scrapbooking. That's how I started scrapbooking and card making. And then several years after that, I got into fabrics, laces, and doilies. And then that was my favorite. And then now it's almost not full circle because I'm not doing scrapbooking, but I'm back to using paper also, um, making junk journals and tags and all that kind of thing. And I'm really having fun doing that too. But I guess if I had to name one of them as my favorite, it would probably still be um, this. And this is just here, so you don't get bored looking at my table. Working on a new doily album, and this is one of the pages. So anyway, that was number three. Four, favorite place to shop for craft supplies. Well, I guess I'd have to say internet, Etsy, and Zibbit, because I very rarely go to Michael's or Joann's or AC Moore. Those are the only three crafting places that I have around here. And I guess you could call Walmart, but our Walmart is really, there's not a lot of crafting stuff going on at ours. But anyways, yeah, so it's mainly finding things on the internet. Let's see, number five, top five crafty YouTube channels. Now, I don't know if anybody has actually answered this question, but like Michelle and Angie, I'm not going to. It's really not a fair question, I don't think. Um, of course, I watch all my friends' channels, but I also watch music videos. I watch food videos because I've recently, because of some health problems, become a vegetarian, and I'm trying to see if that is going to work for me, and I'm hoping it does. So I've been watching a lot of, um, cooking shows and stuff like that, just to get some ideas of, making a variety of things that I'm not used to. I'm not used to I mean, I love vegetables and fruits, but I'm not used to them being the main part of my daily diet. And I'm on day four, and it's not as easy I thought it was gonna be kind of easy because I'm not a huge meat eater, but I was a huge dairy and seafood and, um, and sweets and, processed packaged snacks, and that's all gone. So it is harder than I thought it would be, but, anyways, that's another genre of channels that I watch. Number 6, my favorite color, and everybody knows it's lavender. It's my favorite color, but it's not the only color that I love to work with. I like all the neutrals. I mainly work with all the neutrals, and, um, I do try to incorporate a little more color. I can do that in my fairy books. I've made a couple of journal fabric books that I was able to incorporate dark colors that were out of my comfort zone. And the only colors I find that either I can't work with or are really hard to work with, so I avoid them, are primary colors. They're really bright primary colors. Black, because black shows everything, whether you're using hot glue or fabric glue. Um, so, yeah, and yellow. Yellow is really hard for me also. 7, favorite craft tool to craft with. Well, I guess that's depends on what I'm doing also. If I'm working on my books, then of course my glue gun's my favorite crafty tool. And if I'm working with paper, then my new favorite is Fabri-Tac. And Laurel, Forever Purple Creations, Laurel got me on that. I didn't think I would ever use Fabri-Tac because when I first tried it, it would bubble up, bubble over the top, and it was always a mess. And since she sent me the what's the name of it? The sweet sugar bell bottle and the tip thing here. Whoops, not even in frame. And the tip, I haven't had a single problem. So those are my favorite craft tools. Number 8, where do you get your crafting from? I don't know. My mother wasn't a crafter. My grandmother wasn't a crafter. Um, I guess early on, it might have been just from art class. We did crafts in that. And then, like I said, when my grandchildren were born, I walked into my first craft store, which ended up being owned and run by two who later became two of my best friends here in my local area, and it opened up, a whole new world of crafting for me, scrapbooking, card making, um, and I loved doing it at the time. I taught class. Eventually, they asked me to teach classes. I used to make scrapbooking kits, and on Saturdays I would do a class, and it was so much fun. And then once my grandchildren got older, um, my husband passed away, and I just couldn't do scrapbooking anymore. It was too hard. So I turned to, with with the help of some of my new YouTube friends at the time, I turned to fabric and laces and doilies and appliques and all that. Let's see. So I didn't get it from any one person. I guess I would have to say I got it from my YouTube friends. Let's see, number 9. When did you start crafting? Well, I crafted, obviously most everybody crafts as a child, but it wasn't until I was uh, really crafting until I was, um, let's see, I'd have to say my early 50s. Yeah, like around 52 when my first granddaughter was born. And she's going to be 14 in a couple of months. Can't believe that. And so, yeah, that's when I really started crafting. Okay, and the last one, number 10, when uh, favorite craft so far? Um, well, I think I kinda answered that. When did I answer that? I don't know. I guess so far, like I said, I'd have to say my, my favorite craft so far is fabric books and doily books and wall hangings, even though I haven't made a wall hanging in a while and I haven't made a fabric book in a really long time, but I am still, here and there working on the doily books. And because I started into the junk journal craze, I've been doing, ephemera and tags and stuff like that. So I guess, like I said, it's probably my favorite is what I'm working on at the moment. So that's it. That's my 10 crafty questions, and I'm supposed to nominate. I don't know how many you're supposed to nominate. So I guess I will say if you're watching this and you haven't been nominated and you'd like to do it, then say Maggie White nominated you. Because most of my close crafty friends have already been nominated. So, anyways, that's the answer to my 10 crafty questions. And I hope for any of you that don't know me that well, you have a little better insight into my crafty world. So, thanks for watching, everyone. And I'll be back again soon. I'm going to do some live crafting, just not sure when. It'll be on the fly. So, check for it. See you all soon. Bye for now.